Are you ready for some football?
No, but
No.
I will be, maybe,
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the football game doesn't really mean that much to me. I really could care less who's playing who for a national or world championship or something, but it's the food experience,
It's the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like, we know the Super Bowl's creeping up. We understand what's happening. We've had a national championship game. We've had
We did?
the call.
We,
Yeah.
we did have a national championship game.
Well, I mean, it was Georgia. It showed up, and TCU tried.
Yeah, it was a good first. It was a good first quarter.
It wasn't even a good first quarter. Look, I have a special place in my heart for TCU, always have. By always, I mean for the last 12 years. And they beat Michigan, so happy for me.
Yeah.
They made it to the national championship. Did they get their butts kicked by Georgia? Yeah. Did Georgia play with them like a dog plays with his food or a cat after the kill? Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. I don't know how classy it was, but whatever. I don't like Georgia. Can't stand the Bulldogs. Over the Bulldogs. But what are you going to do? But anyway, we have been in some major. Look, we just came out of what I think is one of the greatest World Cup finales in history.
Yeah.
I mean, that World Cup was fun.
That's like pork is the other white meat, soccer is the other football.
I mean, and it was a blast. I mean, even though every single one of my teams didn't do anything, it was still a blast. And we're creeping up, as you can see in the background. We're creeping up here, and the next month, FC Dallas starts again.
Yep.
And
the World Cup is coming here in 4 years. Is it 2 years? 2 years.
No, 2 years. 2 years. Yeah, 2026.
Going to be here in Dallas. Are they going to be playing? Do you think they're going to be playing some of the games at Toyota Stadium?
Yeah. Well, I guess technically it would be. It's 2026. So, whatever. What year are we in right now? What year are we in?
2023, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So they'll start in 2025, 2026. Yeah. No, I think that FC Dallas Stadium, from what they're talking, is going to have a lot of the practice, because they're going to need to practice somewhere. So they're going to have a lot of the practice games there. They're going to do some of that there. We have the women's national team is coming here in a couple of weeks to play. Yeah, it's exciting time. And you said it, man. Who cares about the teams? We've got some of the best tailgating happening around.
It is amazing that a game which usually lasts about 2 hours, that people will show up at the crack of dawn to get the charcoals just right, get the meat out of the coolers, get the beer in the coolers, like behind me, get the chairs set up, and it becomes a party. And kickoff can happen, and sometimes it's halftime before people even say, what's going on? Anybody hear a score? Because you're just having a good time.
You're having a good time. Yeah, that's the thing. And I mean, tailgating for the FC Dallas games, I used to do that quite a bit. Obviously, my life's changed. I don't do that. I don't tailgate anymore. I just go to the games. But that was a little bit different. But getting up for a football game, especially the Super Bowl, which is like the crown jewel of the NFL, and just to go to the stadium, to be in that crowd, whatever team you're rooting for, if you are, a lot of people go, they don't even have a dog in the fight. They just want to go to the Super Bowl to say they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well,
and frankly, you can't afford a ticket to get in the stadium anyway, so you might as well just pay for a parking space and sit out in the parking lot. I mean, there are people that I have seen that go to these games that have a generator and a flat screen TV that they put on top of their vehicles, and they'll get 30, 40, 50 people around them, and they're all eating, drinking, and watching the game in the parking lot.
So there was one year I don't know what happened, but we didn't get tickets to the Michigan State game. This was back when I was obviously in Michigan, and we didn't get them. I don't know what happened because we would always go. I went to that game more times than I can count, you know. So it was in Ann Arbor, unfortunately. So we had to go to Ann Arbor, and we were in enemy territory. We were behind enemy lines, but you know, the Green and White Army comes in strong, you know. And this was back in the day when we got mad, we just set a couch on fire. So it was a different crowd, you know. And I remember we had everything. We partnered up with a couple people. They were these doctors. So obviously they had more money than me. And
well, and also if you got hurt in a fight or something, you had somebody to take care of you.
Take care of me. Yeah. So this was before you could have those TVs. Like we didn't have TVs to wheel out. We just had the radio, but they had brought these speakers and these tents, and we were cooking, and we just stayed in the parking lot and listened to it on the radio and drank, and we could hear the stadium in the distance. But I can't imagine now with the TV and the technology. I mean, you take tailgating to a whole new level.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, I have seen people set up a TV on top of their van and all, and then they have got a surround sound system that they add to the parking lot. And there are people that will even get there at the crack of dawn because they want to park near this guy that's got this massive setup. And all, and somebody's got a grill, and you just bring your food and you throw it on their grill, and everybody shares, and it's a great time. What do you throw on the grill?
Well, usually for tailgates, I'm not the grill master, you know, but we've done everything from the obvious burgers, dogs, if we're ballers on a budget, but we've done shish kebab, steaks. We've done, you know, we've made grilled vegetable. We've had full meals on the grill. Then you get the smokers out there, and we've smoked turkeys and chicken and wings. And I mean, we've had all kinds of stuff. I've got this guy, Big Ben, phenomenal dude, great human being, makes some of the best brisket. He's got one of the coolest smokers. He'll wheel up on his truck, got this giant smoker, and he does this for a living.
Right.
And he's just grilling sausage. I mean, smoking sausage. It's 7 a.m. He's like, hey, this stuff has been in here for since midnight. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable.
I don't fault those guys at all. You go by and all, and they'll sell you a brisket sandwich and all for $5 and all. But
why not?
You know, you say to yourself, well, crap, that's $15 inside the stadium, and I'm getting it even fresher out here in the parking lot.
And it's not going to taste good. You're going to get crap. I mean, the stadiums have upgraded. I will say this. Stadiums have upgraded their food game tremendously. Yes, you can get the cheap stuff, but they've really upgraded their food game, their beverage game, their cocktail game, but you're going to pay for it. I know for a fact, and this was a few years, well, I'll say 6 years ago when I was bartending. I used to do these side gigs for extra cash at Cowboy Stadium, at AT&T Stadium. I go bartend, and I did a lot of concerts and some games. A Crown and Coke in a short glass, and you are measuring. You are not free pouring. One Crown and Coke was $17. I had people ordering doubles. The food there is minimum $15.
Yeah. I mean, a sub sandwich is about $24, $25.
Forget it.
For a sub sandwich, and out in the parking lot from one of the local shops. Hopefully, it's Patriot Sandwich Company. Under $10.
It's amazing. It makes it. It's kind of like the concert thing. Like, yeah, you might be able to get a ticket to go, but can you do anything when you're there?
Well, and that's happening too, especially with all the outdoor concerts. I mean, to spend $50-$60 or more for a ticket to be in the third balcony and to end up watching the whole thing on a widescreen TV, you might as well be sitting out in the parking lot having a good time and watching on somebody else's widescreen that's probably 6-8 feet in front of you. and having a good time.
Hey, we had that a couple times at Pine Knob. I had buddies that would get tickets and they'd go to the show, and I didn't have money to go, but I'd go with them and hang out with the people in the parking lot, drinking and eating and listening to the music. Yeah, we're already in there. They don't care if you're sitting in the parking lot drinking. Hey, you're not getting in. But I'll be listening to the bands drinking and eating. The guys get out and we roll out. Like I don't know. I like the sporting events. I'm excited about the big game. It's lost something over the years, in my opinion. The fact that they release these commercials early doesn't make sense.
It's overhyped. I mean, just like the national championship. I mean, it was really got a lot of hyping before the game, and it ended up being over within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But hey.
But I am excited about it. I think like I said, the commercials used to be great, but you can watch them all now. I mean, it's not exciting. I think that's lame.
That's the other thing too. You used to watch the game so you could see all the commercials and the halftime shows.
Yeah.
But now they release some of those commercials ahead of the game, and also you say, okay, well, I've already seen them. So now you put the thing on pause, go get another brat, and come back.
That's it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm excited for the halftime show personally. I know there's a lot of whatever people like to complain for the sake of complaining. I think the last 3 years have been good. I know people didn't really like the weekend. They thought it was weird. I gave him credit for it. Last year's was 10 out of 10. So I'm stoked. I think it'll be fun to see Rihanna this year. She's an amazing artist that hasn't done much. She's kind of retired. She's got a baby, but I think it'll be cool. She just did the Black Panther soundtrack. So I think it'll be fun to see. She'll probably bring out somebody. So I'm excited that we're getting some more modern, current halftime shows. But otherwise, I don't care. I don't care about the NFL. I just don't. Lions did good this year. I'm happy they did good. But in typical Lion fashion, they're still not in the playoffs.
But wait till next year.
Hey, look, Lions did a phenomenal. If you look at do we need to mention what they did to the Bears last game? Do we want to talk about that? But then look at the Cowboys. There's nobody in. I don't have an NFL team that's even going to be at the dance, so I could care less.
I think the biggest travesty is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers they make it into the playoffs with a losing record.
Only Tom Brady can do that. Dude gets a divorce.
He can turn anything into gold.
If he wins the Super Bowl this year, I give up. He's got to retire, man. Stop it, Tom. Tom Brady is enough.
You mean again?
Again.
Again.
Yeah. He should have retired last year.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Well, for 2 seconds. Then he found out his wife wanted a divorce and said, I better get some money.
Yeah. So then he unretired.
Well, did you know that his wife is worth more than he is?
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you look up Giselle, she has made more money than Tom Brady has. I mean, she's one of the top tier supermodels, and what she's done is unbelievable. Yeah, she's worth more than Tom Brady.
Wow. So that's why he won't retire.
Well, yeah, she's getting a divorce, or they got a divorce, and somehow he's going to have to pay her something, even though she's worth more. He's got to get money,
Right. That's the old crash and burn theory.
Yeah. So, what about you though? Are you planning on going any games? Have you been to you went to a Chicago White Sox game, right?
Yeah, I used to go to the White Sox games, and that also is a great tailgating experience because in Chicago, cornhole tournaments in the parking lot is huge. People will show up and set up the cornhole, and they get people from in the parking lot to get into competitions, and they're betting brats and they're betting beer and they're doing anything to make it an exciting game. And again, you could be into the 7th inning and nobody cares what the score is inside the stadium because they're you got a big crowd out here that's laying money down on who's going to win the cornhole tournament.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've ever tailgated for a baseball game. We always hit a bar. Like we'll go to a bar before or after, especially down there where Comerica Park is. There's so much around
Yeah.
it. But I haven't been to a baseball game in years, man. It's probably been last game I saw was Rangers Tigers, and we're talking like 9 years ago. It's probably my last baseball game.
And I mean, going to the bars for baseball games is pretty cool. But again, for those that are on a little bit of a budget, filling up that cooler with some cold brew and throwing some brats and burgers on a small grill and everything, it's a big time outing at the park.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I like that. We just went to a Detroit Pistons game. I finally got to go to Little Caesars Arena where the Red Wings and Pistons play. I hadn't been there because they were building it when I moved.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Beautiful arena. It was a fun experience, amazing. And we went to one of the local bars. Cheaper for me to Uber down to Detroit than it was to park, though, in Detroit. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what a lot of people do here in Dallas. It's like one guy will pay to park in the parking lot because it's like $100 to park in the parking lot and all.
Unreal.
But he'll get 10 people that will Uber in or join him, and they all split it, and it's $10 each and all. And then they have a great party for $10 in the parking lot, and you just get dropped off.
What is your favorite sporting event to go to?
Well, I'm one of those few people that does enjoy baseball. A lot of people say I'm getting more excited about soccer. And some people will say, well, yeah, man, but it's such a low scoring game. And you could end up going to a game that ends up 1-0 or a tie. And baseball is the same way. It could be, low scoring game. I always enjoyed watching football and even basketball on TV rather than going in person. But
Yeah.
maybe it's because it's the summertime and being outdoors and going to baseball games that I enjoyed. But in person, I'm probably still lean more towards baseball. I know you like soccer.
Yeah, soccer's been it for me. I have zero desire to go to an NFL game again. I just don't care. I prefer college football games, whatever. I love college football games.
Yeah.
Soccer. I really like going to hockey games. I just don't go as much. Man, there's just something fun about it. It's exciting. It's constant. It reminds me of soccer that it's constant movement.
Right.
You
right.
have so many starts and stops in baseball and football, but soccer, they just go.
Right.
You're not there for hours. I mean, it's a pretty quick game overall.
Yeah, well, I mean, soccer pretty much that way. It's a constant game. I mean, they don't, like football. There's timeouts. There's stop the clock for injuries, and all, and that kind of drags it on. But the thing that I always find fascinating with soccer is you get to the end of the 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden they tack on that extra 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and all based on what the time outages and all were. So, it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, I do like that because you look at it and you're like, you got an injury or you got the ref that stopped to give a yellow card and there's a minute and a half here. They just tack it on the game for stoppage time. And those have been crucial in so many games that I've been to.
Because the outcome of a game can be in those added on minutes at the end.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you're right. I think if there's any one sport, it's probably soccer that is gaining momentum faster than any other sport.
Especially around here, I mean, look where we live. I mean, not just for FC Dallas, but when you look at what comes to that stadium, you got the Soccer Hall of Fame, you've got everybody that has been passing through that stadium that just took major renovations. You look at the soccer leagues here, and I'm not just talking about like kids kicking a ball. I'm talking like major soccer leagues here. It's a soccer town. It really is.
Yeah. But watch out for pickleball because That's coming up in the senior communities.
I'm sure it is.
That's going to get vicious pretty soon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, however you're going to be doing Super Bowl, whether you're going to be in the stadium or you're going to be in the parking lot doing a tailgate party, just have a great time and all. And don't forget to come back and see us again next Tuesday, right here. Same place, same time, same station. All right. Go out there, make it a good one. Bye.
See you later.